Hello dear students, welcome to Pen and Paper Learning on YouTube. This channel is dedicated to the secondary learners, that means students of class 9th and 10th who are pursuing any of the boards in the Indian curriculum. And what have we got on this? I've got some nice worksheets for you to attempt. So why don't you get your pen and paper out and start attempting these worksheets in order to check your stronghold in a particular topic. The worksheet that we have got today is periodic classification of elements, and as I have written over here, please write the answers. When you write your answers, you will gain confidence in what you are writing, and then wherever a little bit here, mistakes here and there are there, you can definitely improvise on those. So are we ready to go? By the way, in this particular video, I have focused mainly on the CBSE students who are following the NCERT textbook, and this worksheet is entirely based on that. So if you go through your textbook and at the same time start answering these questions, you will be thorough with the topic. So it serves both purpose. First question, how many elements are known to us till date? Second, what is the need to classify elements? You need to understand that, then only you go on to study the periodic table. Third question, what are Dobereiner triads? Triads mean sets of 3, right? That's the hint. Give 2 examples of these triads with their atomic mass. Be part of the same question, what was the drawback of this system of classification? And again, we are talking about the Dobereiner triads over here. You go on further in this video only once you have answered these questions. Honesty is the best policy. Be honest with yourself. Fourth, A part. State Newland's law of octaves, giving 2 examples to show it. Second part of the same question, of course, you have to understand the drawbacks. Why did we have to do away with the Newland's law of octaves? And octave should remind you of the 8 notes, right? The musical notes. Go ahead. Fifth question, Mendeleev's periodic table was the first successful attempt at classifying elements. What was the basis of his classification? Second, which chemical property did Mendeleev specifically concentrate on to classify the elements and why? Third, state Mendeleev's periodic law. Now, if you are unsure about any of these answers, you open your NCERT textbook, go through the chapter line by line, everything becomes clear. You will get answer to each and every question in this worksheet. The term, oh by the way, I've put a trivia over here. Did you know that year 2019 was actually the International Year of the Periodic Table of Chemical Elements? Yes, it was declared by the UN and UNESCO. So it marked the 150th anniversary of the periodic table since Mendeleev gave it to us in the year 1869. That means that was the first successful attempt at classifying the elements. Go ahead, question number 6A. Oh, you've already answered. That's quite smart. You didn't wait for the trivia. That's good. Okay. The term group and period was first used by Mendeleev. What do these terms mean? Be part of the same question. Tabulate in 2 columns 3 achievements and 3 drawbacks of Mendeleev's periodic table. Why have I said 2 columns over here? You will realize that whenever we do anything in tabular form, it is easier to recall. So, like this, make a table and write achievements and write drawbacks. You know, you will find it easier to recall at the time of examinations as well. Let's go ahead. 7th, and there we come to the modern periodic table. State the modern periodic law and underline the term where it differs from Mendeleev's periodic law. Yes, there was Mendeleev's periodic law and the modern periodic law. They differ by just one word. Can you spot that word? 8th, how does the modern periodic table overcome the drawbacks of Mendeleev's periodic table? 9th, in the context of modern periodic table, answer the questions that follow. Now here I've got a list of nice questions completely based on the modern periodic table. The first, the number of groups and periods in it. Second, characteristics common to elements of the same group. Yes, recall whether it is the valence shell or the valence electrons. Yes, I have given you the hint over there. C, characteristics common to elements of the same period. Good going if you are able to answer these questions without peeping into your textbook. D, group number of alkali metals. E, group containing halogens. F, group made up of noble gases. G, number of valence electrons in elements of group 1 and 2. H, number of valence electrons in elements of group 15 and 17. Recall, how do you give the number of valence electrons? You have to be very careful in this part, okay? I, list the metalloids in the periodic table. J, identify the valence shell for elements of period 2. So, what does the period number tell you? And that should give you the answer. K, what is the valency of elements of group 2 and group 13? By the way, if you want to attempt this sheet on your own without hearing my voice, you can always mute the video, attempt the questions, right? I will read it for the benefit of those who are not able to read it on their small screen. Identify the element with the largest atom in period number 4. Okay, be careful which period we are talking about. By the way, it is very handy to keep the periodic table close to your study area and read it once in a day. That's it. That's the only thing you need. And for your level of learning, if you know the atomic numbers of the first 20 elements, that should be sufficient. M, which element will have the smallest atom in period 3? N, what is the significance of the zigzag line in the periodic table? You'll see this kind of a line in the periodic table. What does this line do? Why is it there? 10th A part. Now from here on we talk about periodic properties. We'll be talking about atomic size, electronegativity, and if you have ionization energy, you can talk about that as well. So first, 10A, define atomic size, explain the variation of atomic size across the period and down a group. 11th, what unit is used to express atomic size? Remember, it's a size, but the size of the atom is very, very small. You can't even measure it in millimeters. It's much smaller than that. So what unit do we actually use? What is its relation to the SI unit of length? Why are we saying length? Because size, atomic size is also a kind of length, because we are talking about atomic radius. 12th, what are semi-metals? Am I confusing you here? Don't worry, you'll get the answer. Give examples with their symbols. 13. On moving across a period, the metallic character is found to decrease, while on moving down the group, the metallic character increases. Explain this observation. So, when we are going like this, metallic character is decreasing. That is why on the far right of the periodic table, you have the non-metals, and on going down a group, the metallic character increases. Think, why does this happen? 14th question. Contrary to the metallic character, the non-metallic character is found to increase on going from left to right in a period and decreases when moving down a group. Explain this behavior on the basis of atomic size and the number of valence electrons. So, here I have thrown a hint to you. Last question. What do you understand by the term electronegativity? Explain its variation on moving from left to right in a period and on going down a group. How does electronegativity of an atom affect the nature of covalent bond between two atoms? Again, a hint is there. Go ahead, write down the answers to these questions, and if you are here in order to test how much of the topic you know, the maximum, I am saying maximum, it should actually be less than that. The maximum time you should require if you are thorough with the topic in order to do this worksheet is 30 minutes. Let me know in the comment section how you fared in this particular worksheet, and if you need any help in any topic. You are most welcome to subscribe to the channel, as I shall be posting some more worksheets on other topics as well. By the way, for those who are new to the channel, we already have a channel, Pen and Paper Chemistry, on YouTube, and this is specifically aimed for students of class 11 and 12, although there are some videos on class 10 as well. So, you can spread the word to your classmates, to your friends about this channel, so that they can derive maximum benefit out of it. Stay happy, stay healthy. See you soon in the next video.